Good evening, and welcome to your AI Daily Press evening podcast for August 19, 2025. Firstly, we have the ongoing situation in Ukraine, where President Trump has softened his stance on a ceasefire, saying he doesn't think one is necessary at this time. This comes after a meeting with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky at the White House, where they discussed a potential deal to end the conflict. In another development, a coalition of 20 states and the District of Columbia has filed a lawsuit against the Trump administration, challenging a new policy that conditions federal funding for crime victims on cooperation with immigration enforcement. The states argue that this policy is unlawful and would force them to choose between providing critical resources to vulnerable crime victims and honoring requests from federal immigration agents. Lastly, we have an update on the same topic, where New York Attorney General Letitia James stated that the federal government is attempting to use crime victim funds as a bargaining chip to force states into doing its bidding on immigration enforcement. The lawsuit seeks to block the new rules and declare them illegal, citing the urgent need for relief as grant applications are due this week. These developments highlight the complex and ongoing debates around immigration, national security, and the balance of power between federal and state authorities. We'll continue to bring you updates and analysis on these stories as more information becomes available. That's all for now. Thank you for tuning in to the AI Daily Press Evening Podcast. I'm Walter, and we'll see you tomorrow. And that's a wrap. Now for the latest in social and cultural news, here is Barbara Waters.
You, Walter, and then she'll know what's right now. Firstly, in Texas, the legislature is set to work on new congressional maps, a move seen as a counter to similar efforts in California. Meanwhile, President Trump has announced plans to lead a movement to ban mail-in voting and voting machines in the United States, sparking controversy and debate among lawmakers and voters. Secondly, President Trump's proposal to ban mail-in voting has been met with criticism from Democratic lawmakers and election experts who argue that mail-in voting is a convenient and secure way for citizens to exercise their right to vote. The constitutional implications of Trump's proposal are also being debated, as the Elections Clause in Article 1, Section 4 of the U.S. Constitution gives states the power to regulate elections. Lastly, Air Canada's fleet remains grounded as the airline's 8,000 flight attendants continue their strike, defying a return-to-work order from the Canadian government. The move has left thousands of passengers stranded and disrupted travel plans across the globe. The strike is not just about wages and benefits, but also about the safety and well-being of passengers and crew members. These stories highlight the complexities of governance, labor disputes, and election security. We will continue to provide updates and analysis on these developing stories as more information becomes available. Thank you for joining us tonight on the AI Daily Press Evening Podcast. Now, for the latest in business and finance, here is Louis Riskweiser.
Thank you, Barbara. I'm your host, Louis. Today, we've got a trio of exciting stories to recap for you. Firstly, in the world of cryptocurrency, we saw some significant volatility in the market, with investors keeping a close eye on regulatory developments. We advised our listeners to take a long-term view and not make any impulsive decisions based on short-term fluctuations. Next up, we delved into the pharmaceutical industry, where Novo Nordisk is making waves. The company has been facing some regulatory headwinds, but its strong revenue growth and innovation momentum have positioned it for a potential rebound. We also saw a tug-of-war between Novo Nordisk and Eli Lilly, with both companies vying for dominance in the market. And finally, in a groundbreaking development, GoodRx has announced a partnership with Novo Nordisk to offer discounted prices on popular semaglutide medications like Ozempic and Wegovy. This move is expected to make these life-changing treatments more accessible to millions of Americans, and we're seeing investor confidence in GoodRx surge as a result. That's all for today, folks. Remember to stay informed, do your own research, and never make any investment decisions based solely on what you read or hear in the news. We'll be back tomorrow with more updates and analysis. Until then, good evening and happy investing. Now for the latest in science and technology, here is Carl Starman.
Thank you, Louis. I'm your host, Carl. Today, we've got a trio of fascinating stories that showcase the wonders of space exploration and the dedication of individuals who make it all possible. First up, we highlighted the incredible achievements of women in STEM, featuring NASA's Tess Caswell, an extravehicular activity task backroom controller and capsule communicator. Her remarkable story serves as an inspiration to young girls and women to pursue careers in science and technology. Next, we delved into a mysterious bright dot in space that could potentially be an entirely new type of celestial object. This enigmatic find has the astronomy community abuzz, with scientists working tirelessly to unlock its secrets using multi-messenger astronomy. Lastly, we explored how these discoveries remind us of the awe-inspiring complexity of our universe and the importance of continued exploration. From the International Space Station to the farthest reaches of the cosmos, there's still so much to uncover, and we're excited to bring you updates on these stories as they unfold. That's all for tonight's podcast. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the unknown. Until tomorrow, keep looking up at those stars and wondering what secrets they hold. Now for the latest in sports, here is Howard Closewell.
Thank you, Carl. As we wrap up another eventful day in the world of sports, let's take a moment to reflect on some of the key developments that caught our attention. Firstly, we have the Louisville Cardinals, who are looking to make a significant impact in college basketball this season. With their revamped roster and added depth, they're poised for a memorable campaign. We'll be keeping a close eye on their progress as they gear up for what promises to be an exciting season. In other news, Los Angeles Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford has returned to practice after being sidelined with a back injury. This is a crucial step forward in his recovery, and we'll be monitoring his health closely as the team prepares for the upcoming season. Lastly, our local high school teams have been making waves in their respective sports. The Sequoia Lady Eagles, softball and volleyball teams all demonstrated remarkable resilience and determination in their recent matches. We're proud to shine a spotlight on these young athletes and their families, highlighting the importance of camaraderie, growth, and excellence in sports. That's all for now, folks. Stay informed, stay engaged, and remember, in the world of sports, it's not just about the game, it's about the journey. Until next time, good night, and thank you for tuning in to the AI Daily Press Evening Podcast. Now for the latest in travel and human interest, here is Charles Curl.
Thank you, Howard. Today, we've been exploring stories that celebrate the human spirit, conservation, and the beauty of everyday life. In our first story, we examined a lawsuit filed by a student against a university, highlighting the importance of accountability and transparency in institutions of higher learning. Our second story took us to France, where conservation efforts have led to a remarkable recovery of the Bonelli's eagle population. This success story showcases the power of collaborative conservation and the impact that collective action can have on protecting our planet's precious wildlife. In our special edition, we paid tribute to the life and work of journalist David Diaz, who dedicated his career to telling the stories of ordinary people. We traveled across America, meeting unsung heroes, celebrating small towns, and preserving traditions and ways of life. These stories remind us of the dignity of ordinary work, the beauty of everyday life, and the importance of preserving our natural heritage for future generations. As we conclude today's podcast, let's take a moment to appreciate the local customs, traditions, and American crafts that make our country so rich and diverse. That's all for this evening's podcast. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Until next time, good evening, and may the road rise up to meet you. Now for the latest in fashion and entertainment, here is Joan Streams.
Thank you, Charles. I'm your host, Joan, and we've got a fabulous recap for you tonight. First up, we're talking about the resurgence of landlines. Yes, you heard that right, landlines. Parents are ditching smartphones for their kiddos and opting for good old-fashioned phones instead. And I am here for it. It's all about simplifying communication, reducing screen time, and encouraging face-to-face interaction. Next, we're shining the spotlight on stunning model Barbara Palvin. This Hungarian beauty has been killing the game on the runways and in campaigns for top designers like Louis Vuitton and Victoria's Secret. And did you know she's also an actress? We're obsessed with her down-to-earth personality, impeccable style, and adorable marriage to Dylan Sprouse. And finally, we took a tour of the luxurious world of hospitality, exploring the trend of upscale hotels and resorts that are redefining the concept of luxury travel. From lavish amenities to exceptional service, these properties are setting a new standard for travelers who demand the best. That's all for tonight, folks. Thanks for tuning in to the AI Daily Press Evening Podcast. Until next time, stay fabulous, keep on talking, and don't forget to pick up that landline phone. It's making a comeback, darling. Now for the latest in nature and environment, here is David at Nature.
Thank you, Joan. Firstly, we take a look at NASA's groundbreaking work in balancing human activities with environmental responsibility. Our report highlights the remarkable efforts of Matthew Strasser, a biologist at NASA's Johnson Space Center, who has dedicated his career to managing the complex relationships between space exploration and wildlife management. Next, we delve into the plight of Michigan's only rattlesnake species, the eastern Massasauga. A 20-year study has revealed the devastating effects of inbreeding on these snakes, which are 13% less likely to produce viable offspring and have a lower annual survival rate. We explore the importance of conservation efforts aimed at promoting connectivity between isolated snake populations and preserving their delicate ecosystem. Lastly, we touch upon NASA's innovative use of cutting-edge technologies, such as drones, to monitor and manage wildlife populations. This intersection of space exploration and environmental stewardship serves as a powerful reminder of the need for responsible resource management and wildlife conservation in an era where climate change, habitat destruction, and biodiversity loss are pressing concerns. These stories not only highlight the intricate relationships within ecosystems, but also demonstrate the importance of interdisciplinary cooperation and creative problem-solving in addressing complex environmental issues. Join us next time on the AI Daily Press as we continue to explore the fascinating world of science, technology, and sustainability. Thank you for listening. And that completes our evening podcast for today. Thank you for listening. Until tomorrow morning, I'm David at for AI Daily Press, the world's most unbiased news source.